I just paid $800 to fix this 7-year-old camera. Why on earth would I do that? Here's why I ultimately decided that that was a smart decision. This camera has been a workhorse of mine for about 7 years now, and I have filmed hundreds of videos on it. Some years back though, the monitor that came with this camera started not working, and we found out that it was the little connector inside. And then this grip on the side, it actually had a piece break in the camera for the cable. And so that stopped working. And then on the side of the camera, the little selector wheel, it would work, but it wouldn't select. And so that meant I couldn't actually use the menu system anymore. And it made this camera pretty much useless. Unless you wanted to use exactly the settings that were set that one time, I wasn't being able to use it. And so what that left me with was either an expensive paperweight or an expensive repair bill. Just a few weeks ago, I finally pulled the trigger and I got it repaired. And here's why. First, when you invest in the right equipment, it can be useful for a very long time. This camera was actually ahead of its time for its price point. It allows 4K 12-bit RAW external recording and 4K 10-bit ProRes up to 120 frames per second. This camera can still compete with many of the products that are actually currently on the market. Second, I love the form factor. This camera didn't need to be rigged out like most of the cameras you're buying these days with a cage and accessories. With its side rosette grip and your top handle, the monitor that's here, and adding on the Shogun Inferno, it's just a great all-around camera, not to mention that it has internal neutral density filters, which is a game changer when you're out in the field doing run and gun filming. Third, this is the best $800 camera you can buy. And what I mean by this is that if I wanted to replace this camera for another one, I would have to spend well over $800 to get the same features and specs. At this point, the camera may not end up being our A cam, but it is always great to have extra cameras in your kit for when you need a 3 or 4 camera shoot, or even when one of the cameras you're on the shoot with breaks. Backups are crucial for ensuring projects run smoothly. Fourth, if I do want to sell this camera, it likely would have to be fully working, or else I wouldn't be able to sell it. So right now it looks like I could probably get $1,000 to $1,500 for this camera used. So for us, it just seems better to hold on to it, but ultimately it would need to be working to be sold. Lastly, I want to do my part to save the earth. I won't go on a big rant here, but our current purchasing patterns, specifically here in the United States, are predicated on always buying the next best thing and either trading in or throwing away old gear and equipment. I knew this camera could still work great if I fixed it up, and I hated to think about it just sitting in the dump, providing no more value to anyone. Those are the reasons we decided that this was a worthwhile investment. Hopefully this helps you when you determine what to invest in the future. Thanks as always for watching. If this video was helpful, it would mean the world to us if you would subscribe and like the video, because it helps us to create more content just like this. If you want to learn more about video and video production, check out one of our other videos, and we'll see you next time.